welcome back to the Sweet Star Candle YouTube channel, and today I wanted to do another compilation for you guys. These are all of the candle and wax melt tutorials I did in November. I hope you enjoy. Before we get started with the video, I just want to let you guys know that I have a website-wide Black Friday sale going on now. My 14-ounce candles are just $21.99 and my extra large wax melts are $7.99. They each sparkle as they melt. I have a link down below to go to the website. Thank you everyone. Now back to the compilation. And today I am so excited. It's starting to be Christmas time and I wanted to bring you guys a gingerbread wax melt tutorial. So the first step is getting your silicone mold. This is a Wilton gingerbread boy silicone mold. I'll have it linked down below if I can find it on Amazon for you guys or somewhere else. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some isopropyl alcohol and just wipe this out so the wax melt doesn't have any debris in it. So now that I've got my gingerbread mold all cleaned out, I'm going to add some different mica powders and glitters. So I've got Mermaid Trails and Sparkle Sunshine from Mad Micas. I'll have my affiliate link down below if you guys want to check these out. So basically the point of the gold is going to make our gingerbread guy look more like he's made of gingerbread and not so flat. And then this one is just to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to take my mica powder. I've got a Q-tip, but you can just kind of dump it in there. I'm just going to gently go over the bottom, and this is going to kind of add some dimension to our gingerbread guy. So now that I've got the gold in there, and you can really use any kind of gold mica powder that you have, or glitter. So now that that's done, I'm going to grab my Mermaid Trails. This is like my favorite kind of glitter to use, and get a different Q-tip. You can really use the same one. I'm going to keep my other Q-tip because I have a cool design I'm going to do afterwards. So I'm just going to tap the mica powder in there. You can also use a makeup brush. I've seen that works really well. If you guys have seen Royalty Soaps, she takes the makeup brush and like dust over her soaps. I would love to get into soaps. I would just have to kind of learn and figure it out like I did with the candles and wax melts, but I definitely want to get into soaps one day. So now that that's done, it's time to get our wax ready. So I've got my metal pitcher here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of wax melt wax. I'll have this link down below. And I'll have a number that pops up on screen somewhere that lets you know how much wax per gingerbread you'll need. I'm going to get my wax melting. I'm going to add 1/64 teaspoon of some more mica powder. This is just going to help it as it dissolves in our wax warmer to be even more sparkly. So I added 1/64 teaspoon of that. Next I'm going to add 1 drop liquid brown candle dye, and this is from Aztec Candle Supply. I'm just going to add 1 drop of this. So now I've got my wax completely melted. At this point you can add fragrance oil if your wax has reached 200 degrees, and then get that mix in and take it off the heat. I'm going to let my wax melt wax cool to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it will be ready to pour into the mold. So my wax has cooled and it's time to pour. I'm going to let my gingerbread men cool and I will be right back. So the gingerbread men have solidified and I'm going to pop them out of the mold. So our next step, this is optional, but I'm going to take some black liquid candle dye and I'm going to add it to a Q-tip and make little buttons on the gingerbread men. If you want to, you can also add little eyes to the top. So here they all are. Got the button ones and then some plain ones. I think these are really cute too. I'm so excited to be bringing you guys some Christmas tutorials. It is my favorite time of year. Comment down below any Christmas tutorial ideas you have for me and I'll try to recreate them. Today I'm going to be making a Christmas tree candle. So while I've got my wax melting in my big wax melter, I'm going to get my jar prepped. So for step one, I'm going to get my wooden wick ready. So I have the crackling wick 0.02 by Maxi, and I'm going to use the 0.5 width and 5-inch wick. I'll have these linked down below. I'll have an affiliate link if you want to support me through that. So I'm just going to get one of these out of the bag. Also going to get a wooden wick tab. These are from Aztec. And a wooden wick sticker. I believe these are from Aztec as well. And then I've got my jar. This is a 22-ounce Libby jar. I have this link down below as well. I'm going to spray in some isopropyl alcohol. And I do this so that our wick sticker will stick really well to the bottom of our jar and the candle will not have any debris in it. So now my next step is going to be adding my wooden wick to my little wooden wick tab. I'm just going to try to get this right in the center of this. Then I'm going to take my wick sticker and just take it off that. I'm going to try to add this right into the center of this. And then press it down. So this is from Nordic Candle Supply and it is a wooden wick placer tool. And they make these for every kind of jar and every kind of size wooden wick or cotton wicks. So I'll have these linked down below. I really recommend them. So I just take my wooden wick, I put it into the bottom of this, peel off the sticker, and then before I put it down in there, I see how I'm holding on this end. I just pull it up so it's not touching the bottom. Put it on the jar, and then just let it fall. And then I kind of use the bottom of this to press it in there. It's really stuck. There we go. And then I'm just going to put my candle in some aluminum foil, and the reason I'm doing this is to help avoid, you know, some candles they'll get crackles on the side over time, which it'll happen with all candles, but this just helps make that process take a lot longer. So it keeps the heat in our candle. so it solidifies slower. Next step is going to be measuring out however much wax you want to use for your candle. I'm going to use 10 ounces, and then I'm just going to let it fall into my pitcher on top of my scale. To my wax, I'm going to be adding some candle dye so we can get a really pretty green color. I'm going to add 1 drop blue and 1 drop yellow liquid candle dye. And I think these are both from Nature's Garden. I'll have them linked down below. So 1 drop yellow and 1 drop blue. I'm also going to add 1/64 teaspoon of Nature's Garden Diamond Dust mica powder. And this is going to make our candle sparkle as it melts. If your wax was at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, feel free to add fragrance oil at that point. Get it all mixed in there until it's not cloudy anymore. And then I'm going to let it cool just a little bit to about 190 before I pour into my jar. Now my wax is ready to pour. I'm going to put in my spoon into my jar. That way it kind of breaks the fall. I'm going to add my wax. I'm just slowly bringing the spoon up to the level of the wax. This is going to decrease the amount of bubbles as well. So while my candle is cooling down, I'm going to get my embeds that are going to go on top ready. So for this candle, I've got a brand new star mold, and then I've got my cloud and teardrop mold. I have a link to these both down below. So these are going to be the yellow stars, which would go on top of our Christmas tree, and then these teardrops I'm actually going to make into the little ornaments. But you can really use whatever, kind of Christmas decoration you want to on your candle, but I'm going to use these teardrops. I'm going to spray in some isopropyl alcohol into whatever parts of the mold that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to get those cleaned out. But I think I'm going to do yellow, and then I think for my ornaments I'm going to do red, blue, and yellow maybe. I'm also going to do a fun trick with some candle dye afterwards, so it actually looks more like an ornament, not like a teardrop. So for these embeds, I'm going to use some Hurricane embed wax. I'll have a link to it down below. The reason this wax is so good is that it has a higher melt point, so the embeds will last longer on top of the candle, and it's the same embed wax I use in my personal products. So I'm just going to get this plugged in, and I think to 200. I'm just going to get a clean pitcher and just add a little bit of wax. I'm really not going to need that much for my yellow stars. You can either use a heat gun, or I've got an electric hot plate here. Basically just get the wax liquefied. If it's already liquefied from using your Presto pot, go ahead and ignore what I'm saying. I'm going to add the same Nature's Garden mica powder. I'm going to use 1/2 of 1/64 teaspoon. I'm also going to add 1 drop liquid yellow candle dye. And this is from Nature's Garden as well. So now that I've got my yellow wax melted down, I'm going to pour into my star mold. So I got my yellow pitcher cleaned out, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of wax. I'm just going to repeat this step until I get all the colors that I want. So I think I'm going to use 1 drop blue in one, 1 drop red in one, and 1 drop magenta in one. That should be plenty. Just open the spigot for like 2 seconds and just got a little bit of wax in there. I added it onto my hot plate, and I'm going to add 1 drop blue liquid candle dye from Nature's Garden. I'm also going to add a little bit of mica powder, so just 1/64 teaspoon. And once that gets fully melted, I can pour into my mold. So now I've got my blue all melted, I'm going to pour into my mold. I'm just going to repeat that step for my red and my magenta. I'm going to let everything solidify, my candle and my embeds, and I will be right back. So I let my candle sit for a little while, and so now I'm going to use my heat gun. And this is basically going to make sure that the top of our candle is very smooth. I'm going to let my candle fully cool down, and I will be right back. So now that my candle is fully solidified, I'm going to take some scissors and trim down this wick. That will make it easier for us to access the top of the candle to add our embeds. I'm going to take it out of the aluminum foil. Pretty green color. Now it's time to pop all of our embeds out and put them on our candle. So here is the stars. So here are all my stars, and I'm just going to pick out whichever one I think will look best. Normally it will be ones that don't have, see how it has that little circle? Ones that don't have that and have a really flat top. Like this one. So now that I've got my star picked out, I'm going to start unmolding our little Christmas tree lights. So there's the blue. I think I'm going to pick out this one because it has the mica powder kind of settled to the bottom. So I think I'm going to go with this one. Now for the magenta. I think I'm going to go with this one for the magenta. Finally, the red. I'm going to go with this one. So here are all 3 of our ornaments, and I think I'm going to put the blue in the middle because these are so similar, but there they are. So now it's time for the best part, adding our embeds. So to my little lights, what I told you guys I was going to do earlier, I think I'm going to take some black liquid candle dye and use a Q-tip to basically make the top of the ornament look like a little metal piece that you would like hook a hook onto or something, just so it makes it a little bit more unique looking. So I've got my black liquid candle dye here. You can do this with any color, but I'm just going to add 1 drop onto a Q-tip and then take my ornament and just go over the top. There's one done. Next for, I'm not even sure, these turn out so similar, but my red or magenta. Just going to do the same thing. You guys can kind of see the effect that that has on it. It kind of explains what it is a little bit. And make sure to comment, what is your guys' favorite Christmas song? I think my favorite is Last Christmas. I listen to that song all year round. I know you're probably not supposed to, but I do. There's that one. I know a lot of people like Mariah Carey, and then I like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree too. Just adding a little bit more black. Finally the blue, this one turned out the prettiest. And if you want to, you can always add mica powder into the bottom of the mold before you pour your wax, just to make it a little bit more sparkly. Here they all are. Now it's time to craft our candle. So I've got my star here, and this is going to go right over the top of our wick. And since we've let this solidify, I should just be able to gently press down, and it's not going to move any of the wax. So it goes down perfectly. And then I'm going to take my ornaments, and keep in mind you can make the ornaments whatever color you want. I'm going to add, I think, my red first, and then press down. Sorry if you guys can't see. Hopefully I can show you guys this next one better. So I'm going to add my blue. Then I'm going to add my magenta or red. I'm just going to go back over the tops a little bit more to make sure that black stays. And there you have it, our Christmas tree candle. So our final step is going to be trimming this wick down. I use this, it's not an official candle supply, but it does really well. I'll have this link down below. So I just take this over the top of my wick, trim it, and then just do that a couple more times. It should be short enough right there. It's our final candle with all of our little ornaments. I just think it turned out so cute. You can see how the aluminum foil and the spoon method work really well to keep all of the bubbles out. Now it's time to burn our candle. And today I'm going to be making a melted snowman mica powder candle. So your first step is choosing your vessel. This is a Libby 12.5 ounce jar. This is smaller than my 22 ounce jar I normally use in tutorials, but I wanted to do a little bit of a smaller candle for you guys so you don't have to use so much wax. You also want to figure out what wax you're using. I'm using my IGI wax that I normally use. I'll have it linked down below. And then the wick I'm going to be using today is the Crackling Wick 0.04 by Makesy. They've changed their labels since I bought these, but these are from Makesy. I'll have an affiliate link down below if you want to go buy some wooden wicks. And this is a 0.375 wick width. So it'll be perfect for our little candle here. So before I put my wooden wick in, I'm going to clean out the inside of the jar so that way our wick is very adhered to the bottom of our candle and doesn't come up or anything. So I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol and just spray it into the candle. You can also clean the outside too if it's got dust or debris. Sometimes when they're shipping, stuff from the inside of the cardboard will get on the candle jars, so you just want to make it all clean and nice looking. What I like to do as well is make sure I'm getting in the crevice in between the bottom and the side right here, because sometimes debris will settle in that area. Then on the sides, of course, too, and then the outside. There we go. So I'm going to take my wooden wick tabs. These are from Aztec Candle Supply. And then one of my wooden wicks from Maxie. And I'm just going to try to get this right in the center of the wooden wick tab. There we go. And then I'm going to add on my sticker. These are from Aztec too, I believe. And put this right in the center. Now, I don't have a wick placing tool for this jar since I don't sell these, but I'm just going to try to get this right in the center. If you're kind of off center like I am, kind of shimmy the wooden wick over just a tad. Here we go. So there is our candle, and now it's time to get started with our wax. So I've got my metal pitcher here and my metal spoon. I'm going to measure out 127 grams of wax, and I've got my wax melted up here in my melter. My next step, now that I've got my wax in my pitcher, I'm going to add this to my electric hot plate. So the reason I'm adding this to my hot plate is because I want the wax to get to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I will add my fragrance oil. I'm also going to add some mica powder. This is from Nature's Garden. It's their Diamond Dust mica powder. And I'm going to use 1/2 of 1/64 teaspoon. Now the reason I like this mica powder is because it doesn't have anything in it other than mica powder, really. Mica powder and titanium dioxide. I'm going to get my mica powder mixed in there. So for my fragrance oil today, I'm going to be using Lone Star Vanilla Bean. Smelling it out of the bottle, it smells like a Christmas scent, so I think this will be perfect for our melted snowman guy. So I've got my wax to 200 degrees, and I'm going to add it back to my scale. So today I'm going to use 10%, so we measured out 127 grams of wax, so I'm going to use about 12.7 grams of fragrance oil. And then I'm going to get that mixed in there really quickly. So I mixed that in there until the wax was no longer cloudy with the fragrance oil. That's when you know it's all mixed in there. Probably about 20-25 seconds of mixing. And next, optionally, you can take your heat gun and heat gun the inside of your jar. This will make it so that there's not as many bubbles and things like that as the candle solidifies. But I'm just going to pour into my candle now. So I'm going to take my metal spoon and put it into the bottom of the jar and just pour over the spoon so that way it will get rid of even more bubbles. I'm going to let my candle fully solidify, and I will be right back. So I let my candle sit overnight, and the next step is going to be hitting it with the heat gun to smooth out the top of this. I'm going to let the wax fully cool down, and I will be right back. So I've let my candle fully solidify, and it's time to get our melted snowman guy ready. So for my snowman, I want him to look melted, so I've got some extra embeds from when I did this video, my Halloween heart candle. Basically I took my hurricane wax, heated it up in my Presto pot, added some color and some mica powder and got it melted down. And in that video you'll be able to see the process of making these, but I just wanted to reuse them because we just need a very small amount. So I'm going to get these black ones melted down. I'm going to add one white one just to make it a little bit lighter. And this is going to be our snowman eyes. I'm just going to get that melted and then I'm going to add it onto the candle with some pipettes. While that's getting melted down, I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm running a Black Friday sale over on my website. Everything is like hugely discounted. This is the most discounted my candles and wax melts I've ever been. So go check that out if you want to support the channel and also get some great Christmas gifts or just gifts for yourself. So thank you all for the support, and I will be right back when this is melted. I'm actually going to trim down my wick before I pipette the wax on. So my first trim is just going to be with a pair of scissors, and that's just to get the bulk of the wick off. And just make sure you get all of the wooden wick debris, if any falls in it. And then I'm going to get my wick trimmer. This is a Irwin vice grip. Had a couple people asking about it, so this is just a really quick, wood wick kind of cutter. It's linked in my Amazon storefront down below. I've got a bunch of other great candle making stuff down there that I use. I'm going to trim that down just a little bit more, like this, so you can accurately get the wick how far you want it. And that's about the perfect height for a candle. So I've got my hurricane wax all melted down. And if you don't want to use wax, you could also just paint on the dots with some black liquid candle dye, kind of like other methods I've shown you guys in the past. You just want to get that black on there. So for this candle, you can kind of add whatever you want, however you want your melted snowman to be. But I want mine to have 2 black dot eyes and then the carrot nose. So these are going to be our coal eyes. I'm just going to add 2 drops. And if your pipette gets clogged, just grab another one. And if you don't like how one of yours looks, you can just take it out with your hand and just keep retrying until it looks great. As you can see, I took those off. I didn't like them. So I'm going to heat up my wax again and then just retry. We basically want little perfect circles. Now that I've got my snowman eyes right where I want them, it's time to get the carrot ready. I'm also going to use some leftover hearts from that Halloween project. And these are just the hurricane embed wax I'll have linked down below, mica powder, and then orange liquid candle dye. I think I'm going to put it a little bit to the side maybe. Right here. I'm just going to gently press down and it should go in perfectly. So there is the melted snowman candle. And this fragrance oil, it smells really good right now, but I'll let you guys know if it burns well and smells good once it's burning. I'm going to get this burning for you guys so you guys can see the mica powder in action. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sweet Star Candle YouTube channel, and today we are going to be making some jelly wax melts. So first off, I am going to measure out my jelly wax. Here it is. I'll have a link down below to the kit that I got. It comes with about 10 pounds of wax, so that's a lot for wax melts. It comes with some candle wicks, but today I'm going to be making jelly wax melts instead of candles. So this is what it looks like. Has a very squishy texture. It's not sticky at all, which surprises me. I can like tear off chunks of it and stuff. It's very cool to feel. So for this wax melt, I'm going to be using my favorite clamshell. This is from Aztec Candle Supply, and it's the extra large clamshell. It's about double the size of your normal clamshells. And this holds about 5.4 ounces of wax. What I like about this kit too is they all come in like individual wrappers, and they're all about 1 pound each. So let's see how much this chunk is. 2.2. This is so satisfying feeling. Very curious how these will turn out and how strong the fragrance oil will be. 4.6. And if you want to do like normal clamshells, I would just see how much your clamshell holds. And if you make wax melts in it already, you just need the same amount of wax in this squishy form. It doesn't shrink, it actually just like melts and then exactly solidifies exactly how it is based on what I saw online anyway. And this is the high density kind, so I'm hoping it'll be really stretchy. Did you see that, you guys? Wow, 5.4 exactly. I'm proud of myself. So now I'm going to melt the wax, and based on my research too, this is a very important step. These are more important temperatures than normal wax melt wax and normal candle wax. So I'm going to have to be really scientific with you guys today. So I'm just going to get my electric hot plate here, and hypothetically you could use your presso pot or a wax melter instead of the method that I'm using, but I like to be able to see the wax as it's melting and see how it's reacting and stuff like that. So I'm going to get this turned on to about 4. So the jelly wax melts at a higher temperature than my normal wax melt wax. Let me see what notes are down. So I can mix in the color and mica powder and fragrance oil when this reaches 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so you'll definitely need a thermometer for this. We've got this one was from Amazon. I have a link down below. I like these more than the stick ones, so you can just point it and be able to see it. Another thing to keep in mind is the high density wax melt wax, that's the squishy kind, can hold about 7% fragrance oil. It's a lot less than like normal. Normally I would use like 10%. So 5 to 7% on the high density. And then I'm going to attempt to pour at 160 because that's the temperature I normally pour my wax melt wax at. But I'm not really sure if it'll be too solidified by that point, so I'll just have to see. And then for your fragrance oil, I'm going to use the same fragrance oil I did for last week's video, the Vanilla Bean by Lone Star. It has vanillin in it, so I'm going to see how the vanillin reacts to this wax. And it has to be non-polar fragrance oil. And your fragrance oil also has to have over a 170 flash point, but this one has a 200, so that will work just fine. And this brand is from Heigle from Amazon. Had good reviews on there, so I wanted to check it out. And I'll have an affiliate link down below if you want to support me through that. It's melting really, really slowly, so I will be back with you guys once it's fully liquefied. Also, just be warned too, if you use this wax, it smokes as it melts, and I've seen with other videos and stuff that this is kind of common with the jelly wax, so just be warned about that in case you have breathing problems or young kids or animals around. So I got my wax pretty melted. I'm going to add my colorant and all that kind of stuff, and then probably back onto the hot plate. So I'm going to add some mica powder I just want to test to see how well this does with it. This is Nature Garden's Diamond Dust mica pattern. It's just mica pattern, titanium dioxide. I'm going to use 1/64 teaspoon of it. I'm also going to add 1 drop liquid red candle dye. I heard too you can also color it with mica colorant, and then my fragrance oil, Vanilla Bean by Lone Star. Actually, I want to check the temperature of this. So it's right at 215 right now. So I can add 10 grams of this wax, or 7% of 5.4 ounces. So here's my life hack. Add this back onto your scale, zero it out, turn it to grams, and then I'm going to add 10 grams of this fragrance oil. There we go. And get that mixed in there. And it's already solidifying. So I'm going to add this back on here, probably at a lower heat though, just so I can get it mixed in there. Also keep in mind you can add glitter to this, you can add it to the bottom of your clamshell. You can do a lot of fun things with this wax. I think I'm going to actually add some glitter. This is Star Bits by Mad Micas. I'll have my affiliate link down below if you guys want to check these out, but they have a lot of colorants over there too. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle these in. Okay. I'm going to take my wax off the heat. It has reached 200 degrees Fahrenheit again. I'm going to let it cool to about 160 if I'm able to. So my wax is cooled to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to pour it into my clamshell. I hope this isn't too hot. I normally wait till 160 like I said, but I'm going to try with just at 200 because it feels pretty thick. So let's see. Well, I guess I'm going to let that fully cool down and I will be right back. So I let the wax melt sit for a few hours and it feels pretty solidified. Here's the top. I think the stars turned out really cute. I think it turned out really cute, and I can smell the fragrance oil right now really strong on them. I have a link down below to this wax if you guys want to check it out. Now let's melt our wax melt. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed, please give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe. Be sure to check out my website down below for the perfect candles and wax melts for the holiday season. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next Thursday.